In this video, I'll try and explain everything that you need to know about CSGO skins. Before we dive into details, there's something that you have to keep in mind. Is a skin from a collection or a case? Collection skins get dropped during operations, so if an operation ends, the skin is basically discontinued. They also tend to have a souvenir version of the skin if it's also a map collection. This basically means that if a map is being played at CSGO major tournaments, you can claim souvenir packages, and that's the only way to actually get your hands on souvenir skins. So of course, when a map is not an active duty pool anymore, which is of course the map that's being played at the major and in competitive matchmaking, then you can't claim those souvenir packages anymore, which causes the price to go up drastically. That's also why the cobblestone collection is so damn expensive right now. Also, rip this guy. If it's not a map collection, it won't have a souvenir version of it. A good example is a control collection. Souvenir skins are basically the more rare version of a collection skin. So yeah, of course the value is much higher. But when the skin looks shit in a souvenir collection, then usually the value of the normal collection skin is worth a lot more because they can be used in trade-up contracts. Souvenir skins also have a very unique sticker that can only be found on souvenir skins. There used to be a signature on it, but Valve ended up changing it to a map sticker. So please, for the love of God, don't scrape it. Of course, there's also case skins. Those come in stat track. You can't get them in souvenir. If a case is expensive, the skins rise with it. So yeah, of course, they are unboxed less often, so skins in the case are usually worth a lot more. A good example is a Bravo case. Rarity. Every skin has a rarity. You can get them in covert, classified, restricted, mil-spec, industrial, and consumer grade skins. There's also one skin that's contraband, which is the HAL. The creator stole the artwork, so Valve took it out of the case, and you basically can't get that skin anymore. Every skin has a hidden wear, or also called float value. This value determines how scratched and worn a skin looks and which quality it falls under. The best float value you can have is as close to 0 as possible. The worst float value you can have is 0.99999, etc. So yeah, the more 9s you have, the worse the skin will look. Some skins also have a float cap, which is basically the limit that the skin can have for a certain float value. A really unique skin that has something like this is the Galil Chatterbox. It can only come from field tested in a really bad float till battle scarred, and it looks still alright since the skin is basically made for it. Patterns. Every skin has 1000 patterns. It's called a pattern index. It's basically the cutout of a PNG image that is selected for the skin. So Kate Harness skins have this blue spot that's very valuable. So if the pattern is right on top of the blue spot, then it's of course worth a lot more than just a random pattern that's somewhere else on the PNG image. Trade-up contract. A trade-up contract is basically for case skins. You can only use those. You can't use souvenirs or anything like that. So basically you pick 10 of the lower grade skins and you can trade them up into a higher one. So you use 10 blue skins, you can get a purple one, for example. Of course, you have to keep in mind with all the floats, since there's a lot of calculating with it. But you can use like an online trade-up calculator for that. Also, before you start opening stuff, please keep in mind there is a 1 in 3906 chance to get a covert from a souvenir package and a 0.6% chance to get a red from a case. So yeah, it's better to just buy your items instead of opening it. Anyways, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh yeah, and subscribe, that would also be nice.